What's up, Bulls Nation? It's the Bloody Horns podcast. I'm your host, Justin. Let's get into it today, man. We got a tough game against the Boston Celtics. Sucks that we lost that game against the Rockets the other night. That was our game to get back to 500. I tweeted at the beginning of the week that I wasn't going to be shocked if the Bulls dropped one of those two games and then ended up beating the Celtics to get to 500, because that's just the way this Bulls team rolls. So if the Bulls win tonight against the Celtics, I'm not going to be shocked. But that Rockets game, that's one that when you looked at the schedule, you kind of penciled it in, and then you deeped over it a little bit. You saw the Rockets were on a 6-game win streak. Jalen Green's been playing out of his mind, and you realize the Bulls had a tougher game than they probably accounted for that day. So, DeMar DeRozan getting kicked out, that certainly didn't help, but no excuses, man. It's time to turn over a new leaf. It's time to focus up on this game against the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics are by far the best team in the East this year. If they don't make the NBA Finals, that coaching staff needs to be fired. There's too much talent on this team. Now, obviously, I'm saying this barring any injury. If Jason Tatum goes down, if Porzingis goes down, that totally changes the trajectory of the Celtics season. But if they are healthy, there is no reason they should not make the NBA Finals this year. I don't know if they're going to compete for the championship. You saw them when they played against the Nuggets the other day. I think that was actually like over a week ago now. But you saw in that game, they really don't have an answer for what the Nuggets do. But at minimum, they should make the NBA Finals this year. And they should be able to push the Nuggets to 6, maybe 7 games. So tough game for the Bulls tonight. The Bulls, they do play up to their competition. So we'll see. We did get our asses whooped by the Celtics early in the year. That was one of the most embarrassing games from start to finish I've ever watched as a Bulls fan. So counting on more tonight from them. Key number 1, can Ayo Dosunmu continue this hot streak? He is on fire lately. Yesterday, he was really the only Chicago Bull who had it going. Can he continue it? The Boston Celtics, their backcourt is much deeper than the Houston Rockets and some of these teams that Ayo's been lighting up. Derek White, Drew Holiday, they are A-plus defenders. So it's going to be tough for Ayo. The Celtics are going to come in prepared. They're going to read their scouting report. They're not going to let Ayo get downhill. That's kind of the key with Ayo is you got to stop him from getting downhill, because once he gets downhill, he's getting to that rim. Now, when his three-point shot is falling, he's a whole different animal out there. So key number 1, can Ayo Dosunmu continue his hot streak? Key number 2, can Coby White start getting back on track? There was a brief moment in yesterday's game shortly after DeRozan got kicked out where Coby hit a 3. Then he took it to the hoop where it was like, all right, he's starting to get his legs back under him now. But for the most part, Coby, he looked a little rough yesterday. He didn't look like he could get to full speed. I don't know. That hip is probably still lingering. It's probably still bothering him. Being that we're playing the Celtics tonight, it makes me think of Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas famously played through a hip injury, and then his career was pretty much over. He's struggling to even get on NBA rosters at this point. So I pray that this Coby hip injury isn't something like Isaiah Thomas where he's able to tough it out and push through it, but he's really doing long-term damage. I pray it's nothing like that. I don't think the Bulls would be that dumb to do something like that to Coby, but this is the Chicago Bulls medical staff we're talking about. So can Coby White, when he plays tonight, can he get back on track? Can he start looking like the Coby White that's the favorite for the most improved player this year? Key number 3, man, Vooch. I don't know what the fuck happened to Vooch against the Rockets the other night. The Rockets started Jabari Smith against Vooch. Now, Jabari, he's 6'10", pushing 6'11", but he's tiny, man. Vooch has like 75 pounds on him, and Vooch could not move him. Jock Landale, he looked like the best big man in that game, and I'm talking about Vooch, I'm talking about Drummond, I'm talking about Jeff Green, I'm talking about Jabari Smith. Out of all the bigs that played in that game against the Rockets, Jock Landale played the best. So Vooch tonight, man, you got your work cut out for you going against a fellow European in Kristaps Porzingis. They got Xavier Tillman coming off the bench. They got Luke Cornett coming off the bench. I need a good Vooch game tonight. I need him to at least show up, at least be competitive. I had that tweet yesterday where I broke down how bad his advanced stats are this year compared to last year. Honestly, I don't know how anybody is still defending Vooch these days, but people find a way. So key number 3, Vooch, I need you to show up at least a little bit tonight. Key number 4, we got to get out on the break. We got to try to run. The Celtics, they're not the fastest paced team, but they're not the slowest team either. They're somewhere in the middle. The Bulls, traditionally, they're one of the slower teams in the NBA, so we got to push the pace. We really got to force those fast break opportunities. When Caruso gets the ball on deflections, we got to run. If Ayo gets a rebound, he's got to run. Everybody's got to run, so we got to push the pace tonight. And the final key number 5, DeMar DeRozan, man. You can't be doing what you were doing against Houston. Not only was the shot not falling, but he visibly got upset. And we've seen this multiple times from our veterans where Vooch, DeMar, they get frustrated and then they do these frustration fouls. And they don't help the team at all. It actually hurts the team. So I need DeRozan to, 1, play better, but 2, mentally be there, man. You can't mentally check out like that. You can't be committing those dumb fouls. borderline cost the Bulls the game. I don't know if the Bulls would have won the game if he didn't get kicked out, but you can say it cost the Bulls the game that day. So those are the 5 keys. It's a tough game tonight. We'll see how the Bulls do. Tip-offs at 7 o'clock. If you guys aren't subscribed to this page, hit that subscribe button. Follow on all the other social media, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Same handle on all of them, @HornsBloody. Throw me a follow. Let's talk hoops.